Found another good red one. That's a good red Agatized coral. How thick it is. It's pretty solid. That's a good piece right here. You see the light come through it. That's a good solid red one. That's just a bubbly one. There's a cool red one, huh? Another red one. Found this one too. Another one with the jersey in there. Be careful when I cut this one. Yeah, that's a pretty cut crystal, huh? How pretty that is. That's a real solid one too. Look at that. Let's see the light come through that. That's a good one right there. And then got the black color ones. It's like a black. Look at that. Isn't that pretty as hell? It's like a multicolored. Wow. That's a pretty cool one, huh? You see the light shine right through that crystal. That's a pretty nice one. Can't wait to cut this one open. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's like a black Agatized coral. You want to see something really neat? That's not really that neat, but sure is pretty. I don't know if you can see that. It's like baby blue and red. Here, look at that. This is some of the coolest crystal ever, huh? Look at that. Yeah. Watch this one. When I wet this one, huh? This is really trippy here. Ready for it? Tell me y'all are ready for this. Look at that. Look at weird, huh? Look at them neat patterns on there. That's crazy. That's wild looking, isn't it? Never seen nothing like that one. That's pretty trippy looking. Look at all them weird spots. That's pretty weird looking. It's pretty trippy. That's crazy, huh? That's pretty neat. I like that one. Can't wait to polish this one up and see how it looks. That's pretty crazy looking. That ought to make for a cool pair of earrings or something, huh? Or some kind of pendant or something, and a couple of earrings. That's pretty neat looking. There's all kinds of wild looking ones in here. Look at this one. Ugly. Pretty. Alright, let's see. Keep moving through here. Let's find another red one here. It's not really red, but it's kind of like a goldish red. Wow. Alright. Get down into some of these wild looking ones. Look at that one. That's crazy down up in there. Oh, wild, trippy colors. Oh, there's some more spotted looking one, I guess. Look how thick that one is. Oh, it's thick, thick. Super thick. It's pretty cool. It's crazy down in there. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, man. Here's a really thick one. See, some of these can make some really good faceted stones, because look how thick that is. This is pretty solid. Probably weighs a good 3 or 4 pounds in my hand. I mean, this thing's heavy. It feels a lot heavier than it looks like it does. Hollow down inside there. It's like looks like chalcedony, but it ain't. It's agatized coral. Kind of resembles the same. Resembles chalcedony, but it's really not. This is hard as diamond. They call it the Ballast Point diamond for nickname. Is the nickname because it's the same, almost the same hardness as diamond. The tensile strength in the crystal, because it's coral. Coral comprised mostly of carbon. If you were to crystallize that organism, it basically forms the same formation that when coal is petrified is 100% carbon. Basically, that's why they call it ballast point diamond, because essentially that is what the crystal is. It's just it's not as pretty as a diamond. Diamonds are nice and clear because they're 100% carbon. But coral is somewhere just under 100% carbon. It's like 93% carbon-based organism, up into like 96%, depending on the species of coral. But you petrify that organism and turn it into crystal, voila, you got the same hardness of diamond, basically. It's just about the same hardness as diamond. That goes all the way deep down in there. The whole thing's hollow. It's got that cool crystal-y looking glitters. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Cool glitters. What does that one want to be, huh? Yeah, man, so let's see. Move through a couple more and that's it. That's a pretty neat one. Yeah, man. Yeah, some pretty stuff. Some gold, man. These will make some really nice pendants, some faceted stones to go along the pendants, you know what I'm saying? We got like a nice glittery pendant and a couple earrings that glitter, and then make some faceted stones that complement those. A ring or a couple rings, some other faceted stones, whatever. Anyway, hope you guys are enjoying seeing these things. They're pretty rare. So, figured I'd share with you guys. Give it another rock to hound on, huh? Yeah, this is going to be one of the hardest rocks to find out there, though. You're not going to be able to find these too easy, because of the fact that they're just that rare. There's only really 3 places in the whole world to be found. One's in California, about 3,000 feet under a mountain. The other one's in Australia. It's a big reef up on the top of it's like a above ground ancient coral reef. It's up in the mountain somewhere, like along this big cliff that's like 120 miles long or something like that. But the government there, they'll shoot you if they even find you on the property. So you might as well forget about trying to get those. They got like a death order on anybody found on the property trying to get this stuff, because it's protected there as well. And they get serious about it. Them Aborigines, they're real serious about keeping people off that property, because they want to preserve it for posterity and stuff, and they don't want people digging it up and ruining the beauty of their coral reef that's there. So if you even get you got to have special permission to even go on the property, and you're not even allowed to take pictures or nothing. And they seldom give anybody permission to even go out there. It's all just their government property or whatever, and they barely even let scientists go out there and study the fossils that could be found in that coral reef. There's so many fossils and all kinds of crazy stuff in that coral reef. They won't even let you go there to study it. So that's pretty much impossible to get to. So Tampa Bay is the only other place you can actually find this stuff. Look at that, it's pretty neat, huh? It's like a red, bumblebee yellow. Anyway, excuse me, guys. I feel like I'm coming down with something cold or something. Been caught out in the rain a couple times in the last couple days. Oh, come on. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Look at that one. These are just a lot of the broken up ones that we have. We have a whole bunch of ones that haven't even been broken open. These are just, sometimes you find them on the beach, just broke like this, like a broke piece. It's been broke for however thousands of years or whatever, just rolling around out in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Getting tumbled up, naturally tumbled, and they tend to get broken sometimes. Bouncing around each other on the beach. Oh, there's a pretty one. Look at that one. Wonder what this one looks like down inside. Look at that. It looks like some kind of animal, huh? Looking at you like, peekaboo. Wonder what kind of animal that's trying to be. Carve it into something, huh? For the most part, first they get tumbled. That's pretty, huh? That's a pretty color right there. I don't know if you guys can see that color. It's like a blue-black. It's like a deep midnight blue. It's pretty cool, huh? Just going through some more of the broken pieces that I found out there. I was cleaning them up, getting them ready to be checked out. Let's see. We're getting to the point where we're about to start tumbling a bunch of these, so I'm sorting through them all. We got probably at least a couple thousand pounds of these. At least, probably about 2,000 or 3,000 pounds, if not 4,000 pounds. Haven't really weighed them all yet, but we got a pretty good pile of them. And more, there's more that I know where to get them. I've been around the world a couple times, and I know the exact area where these can be found. And it's really hard to find even that, because there's, like I was saying the other day, it's protected not because it's a coral. Coral is protected, like living coral. You're not allowed to go out in the ocean and dig it up because it's protected species of animal. And the federal government already placed a restriction on it that you're not allowed to just go out there and dig coral out of the ocean, you know? You got to come up with coral from like special places that deal in it and that are allowed to deal in it, and they collect it from around the world and stuff, and then they sell it for fish tanks and stuff. So you got to have a special license to do that. But this stuff can be found right on the beach. In particular areas here in Tampa Bay area, you can go right along the beach and find this piece just floating around by the beach, right on the shore. And you're allowed to pick those up and take them home because you're not digging or nothing. It's like it's no different than collecting shells on a beach. So these are you're allowed to get them because of that. But just don't let them catch you digging for them. If you're out there with a shovel on the beach and Marine Patrol pulls up on you, you're in a lot of trouble. They'll be all over your ass. And it's a federal offense, so remember that. They'll be trying to charge you with a federal crime. First, they probably give you a warning telling you, yeah, you're not allowed to be out here digging. What are you doing out here with a shovel? And then you'll explain to them, oh, I didn't know. And then they'll explain to you why it's illegal. And then what they do is they take your photograph and they take all your ID and all that, and find out who the hell you are, and tell you don't come back. If you come back out there with a shovel again, they see you again, you're in so much trouble because they already warned you, you know what I'm saying? So I thought I'd give you all fair warning of that. Just don't go after these like don't go crazy trying to hound these or from around here because you can get in trouble trying to go for them. So the only way you're going to really be able to get any of these is either hunt for a long, long time on the beach and they're not that easy to find because you got to take into consideration there's millions and millions of shells and other rocks there on the beach, and these aren't that common within all that. So you're going to have to search your butt off to even find one little piece of this, and then you got to know what they're even looking for, because look, you got to just, that don't look like anything different than any normal rock. So being able to find one of these, you got to be like a specialized eyeballs, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to find them. They're really not that easy to find. This represents probably a lifetime of searching. To be able to find something like that, that's a long time hunting for that thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've been out there hunting for them ever since I was probably a teenager. That's what I used to do as a hobby. Was when I was a kid, me and my mom and my mom's boyfriend, we used to all go down to, she had a bunch of friends and stuff. She used to love to go down by the beach and hang out and party. You know, like on weekends, on a day off from work, they'd get out and go grab some beer, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, go down there and party their butt off on the beach. That's what people do down here in Florida. And but my one friend Dave, he used to date my mom. She's dead and gone now. She's been gone. She died at 50 years old back in '98. And it's just right around 21 years ago. Anyway, Dave's still been my friend all along, ever since he dated her. He's not really like a stepdad to me. He's more like a big brother I never had, because he's only like 6 years older than I am. And my mom had me real young. She was only 15 years old when she had me. And, 16. She got pregnant with me at 15, but had me when she just turned 16. And so she's pretty young herself. So Dave, being a couple years, he's only 6 years older than me, but that's not much. She wasn't much older than him. She's probably only about 12 years older than he was, not even that, about 10 years older than he was. So there's nothing wrong with that. But so I kind of look at him like he's like the big brother I never had, you know. And now he's getting old. He's up in the 60s now, and he's collected this stuff ever since I was like he's collected it a lot longer than I have. This is a collection of his stuff. This is all, I'm sorting through his things. We went and picked them all up over at his other house, and he's ready to want to do something with them now. I've been begging him for years. Hey, come on, Dave, let's do something with all them cool rocks you got. And he's like, no. I got plans. I got my plans for those. You can just leave your hands right off of them. And I was like, come on, Dave, man, you can make a fortune. And he was like, yeah, I know, but it won't be your fortune. That'll be my fortune. You know? But anyway, he's coming around where, you know, now that he's too old to really do anything. He can barely do anything anymore. And I finally talked him into, come on, man, let's go get some of them rocks and actually do something with them, because they're just, you can't take them with you when you die, you know what I'm saying? I want to do something with them, help you get something done with them. And he's like, yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and do it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm showcasing my friend David Edwards' collection. This is all his. But just to give you an eye, because he wants to try to sell and make some money off of that stuff. That's why he's collecting them, because one day maybe he'll make something. He's always had this dream he was going to collect a whole bunch of them, because they're really rare. So he had a dream that he was going to be some kingpin with Agatized corals. He went out and collected all these things for like years of his life, going out there every weekend. He was true to this stuff. He was after this stuff. And I don't blame him, really. I mean, I was out there too, but I never had I always had different priorities. I couldn't go out there every single weekend. I had to work and take care of things at home, so I'm real envious of him that had the time to get out there and hunt and search and actually find some of the... Man, I've been searching for some of these all my life and never found them. Like that red one right there. I've been looking for those for a long time. I've got a couple really cool ones over here. Here's some of mine over here, like these ones. Oops, just dropped one of mine in his box. Because I make things out of it. That's one of mine. I make cool things out of it, like there's a cool guitar pick. And there's some red ones. If you guys can see that. It's a stone guitar pick made out of Agatized coral. See how red that one is? There's another good guitar pick. If you guys can really see that, huh? Make little things like guitar picks and weed bowls and all kinds of crazy stuff out of it. Anyway, I've been looking for one of those glittery ones like that, for a red one like that, for a long time. This is like the first one I've ever even seen. When I saw this one, I was like, oh man, there's the one I've been looking for all my life. It's really rare. The colors vary, but you always find all kinds of wild, different patterns with little smoky-looking cloud-looking patterns, and for the most part, that gold color right there, it's like a golden color or something, like the color of Chalcedony. So for the most part, that's what most of them look like. But then occasionally you will run into these red ones. And I absolutely love these blood red ones, man. Their color is beautiful. There's a few different colors of it. For the most part, what I was saying is these red ones are pretty darn rare to find. I've barely ever even seen them. Anyway, so hope you guys are enjoying watching this. I'll continue to showcase the couple tons we got, so that way you guys can see them, and maybe even you can personal message me if you're interested in any of these. They are available for purchase. Gotta warn you though, they're not really all that cheap. You know, some people offer me, "Could we trade rocks? Can I trade you a rock for that rock?" And I'm like, "Man, you better have one special rock to trade, because these really are that special they're special rare. These things are really rare, hard to find. You got to go through a lot of work to even find one of these things. It's not like it's really, really rare, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to go through millions of tons of rock to even find a piece of them, you know? It's not like that. The hard part is just being able to spot them. They're pretty readily available. It's just, you can't dig for them. You have to just hunt along the beach. It's the only way it's legal to actually obtain these. You can't go digging them. You gotta find them, source them like the legal way, where you're only allowed to just walk down the beach. And if you see one, you'd be like, "Oh man, there's one." You can pick it up and put it in your pocket or take it home with you. There's no big deal about that. It's the digging that they're crying about. They don't want you out there digging, because then you will be able to find a lot of it, but you also kill a lot of animals and mess up the ecology by releasing all kinds of deadly minerals into the water by digging into the water line, digging holes in the water line. Kills hundreds of millions of fish out there. All kinds of coral and everything like that will get killed, all because you wanted to get this rock. So that's why it's illegal to do. So if you want some, you're gonna have to go through us because we've already done all the hard part, is finding them. And I remind you again, these are just, this is like meticulous searched out pieces. They're not dug up out of the ground. These are like hunted for years. We've been hunting these things for a long time. Look at that wild one. So it's basically the easiest way for you to get them is just message me here. Tell me you're interested in, say, like this piece here or whatever. What we can do is we can do like a message, like do message chat or something like that, and you call me up and just be like, yeah, I'm really interested in a couple of those, and then we'll go back through a couple boxes. You kind of give me an idea of what they're looking for. That's why I'm showing them to you guys, so that way you can be like, yeah, I want one of those, like that one right there, and you'd be like, yeah, I want one of those real thick colored ones, a gold color one of them, real thick. And then I'll be like, okay, you want this one right here? And they'll be like, yeah, that's like the one I saw. That's the one I'd like to get one like that. And then we'll discuss a price for you. Because I'd have to weigh it out, and we pretty much sell these by the type and not really necessarily the carat weight. Until they're cut and polished, that's when we'll start selling by carat. But as far as the whole pieces go, we can wholesale them out to you, or retail them out to you, or whatever, if you're that interested in one of them. But I'm going to warn you, they're not really expensive, but they're not like a cheapo price either. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to get this for like $50. It's going to be more like $150 or $200 for this piece right here, at least. Because just the rarity of it and the beauty of it, and it's a really nice stone. And these are cut and turned into polished gemstones with some facets on there, man. Them things can sell. I'm talking like big time money per carat of each, because you can't really get a really big ones. I don't know. We've had a couple, but those things sold for anywhere between a couple $100 a carat sometimes. And the bigger the carat weight of the stone goes, the bigger price per carat is. So you got to just be forewarned about that. But for the most part, if you want to obtain one of these really good ones that do all that yourself and cut them and polish them yourself, then we can source them out to you. But it's only serious inquiries only, and it's only like on all sales are final. So you gotta really think about what you want to see. But this gives you an idea of what they all look like, and then you're just going to have to go from there and say, well, I can polish that up and make that look really pretty. So if you know what you're doing in rock hounding and in the lapidary trade, where you want to get in, you're either into it or you're already into it, or you want to just get into it. Forewarning though, this ain't for novice skill level. This ain't for your ordinary rock hound here, because like I was saying, these are diamond hard. If you just bought a bunch of lapidary equipment and you're just getting into the hobby, and you got all this brand new equipment, you're gonna pretty much ruin that brand new equipment trying to mess with these rocks, because that's how hard they really are. They're so hard, you're gonna tear up your diamond blades pretty fast. So I forewarn you, anybody that doesn't have like a wide knowledge about this stuff, I'd stay away from it if I was you. Until you get a better knowledge and a better skills at it and cutting rocks, I wouldn't start cutting these rocks just right off rip. I'd stay with your softer agates and stuff like that for now, until you really get a lot of good skill going. You really know what the hell you're doing, then you can probably get into doing these rocks. But for now, see what I'm saying? Thought I'd forewarn you about that. Look at that stuff. Look how thick that is. Some of these will really make some good facet stones. Alright guys, just made this video way too long. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching. See ya.